Hey everyone, my name's Kirsten. Thanks for joining me for another yoga class. And if it's your first time doing yoga with me, I'm glad you're here. And if you have before, thanks for returning to do another one. We are going to start off today just kind of finding some breath. We don't always do this at the beginning of class, but we're going to start to find some Ujjayi breath to use that today to really help us be present in each pose in the moment, and to also try and continue to build heat in from the core of our body outward as we practice. So let's have a seat. And just sit comfortably. And you can start to kind of roll back and just sit tall through your shoulders and release tension from your arms. And just start to let the arms be very heavy and loose at your sides. If you need to let them drop, you can let them drop. Let the shoulder blades melt down the back, lengthen up the back of the neck, up through the top of the head. Sitting nice and tall from the sits bones. If you are working on sitting through half lotus or full lotus, you can also sit in that posture. So whatever it is you're working on and is comfortable for you. And we're going to start with a breath that goes all the way down the spine to the pelvic floor. Mula Bandha, pelvic floor. And you want to breathe, thinking about the breath as water being poured into a glass, and it hits the bottom of that glass first. So breathing low in the belly. You can put your hand right there on the low belly if you like. Find some expansion on the inhale, 5 seconds in. As you exhale, draw that navel inward and press the air back out. Chest and ribs are really quiet on this. So again, inhaling, expanding low belly. And if you feel very comfortable with this type of breath, you can take your other hand to your low back. And on the inhale, try to expand not just forward with your breath, but also into that low back. And you can start to add some Ujjayi breath as you inhale and exhale. So that's in and out through the nose. And as you exhale, it's like saying HA, but closing the mouth, closing the lips over the teeth, keeping the teeth separated. So again, trying that inhale to the base of the pelvic floor, and exhale, draw the navel in. So Ujjayi breath is audible, you can hear it. Lots of space in through the back of the throat, the top of the roof of the mouth, behind the eyes. Let's add to that 3-part breath. So inhaling, breath hits the base of the pelvic floor first, expands up into the side body. And as you exhale, reverse, pull the side body in, low belly in. As you pull in that low belly, you want to feel like you're lifting the pelvic floor a little bit. And it's the same muscle action as doing a Kegel or stopping your urine flow midstream. So if that helps you to find those muscles, that's the engagement you need with those muscles. Let's add the 3rd part of our breath, inhaling low into the belly first, up into the sides, and finally expanding up into the rib cage all the way to the base of the collarbones. And then reversing that exhale, pull the rib cage in, pull the sides in, pull the low belly in, zipped up strong. Take one more 3-part breath. Ribs, sides, belly. Let's add some movement. Inhaling up onto the sits bones, belly, sides. As you inhale to the ribs, lift the heart, eyes look way up. As you exhale, dropping the chin, rounding the back, pull in the ribs, pull in the sides, pull in the low belly. So moving with your breath, inhale up onto the sits bones, lifting tall. Inhale from the bottom up. And exhale, reverse, pulling in the ribs, pulling in the sides, pulling in the low belly. Taking one more time. Inhale to lift. And then exhale, rounding it out. Opening up that spine. Bringing it center on the inhale. Rolling those shoulders back and open, and just taking some circles. So imagine that your rib cage, the bottom edge of your rib cage, is sitting on a flat table or surface, and you're going to be tracing an elliptical pattern with it. So leading forward and around, just finding some more spine mobility here. So with that same breath, taking it off to one side, inhale, reach far forward as you can through the breastbone, as far forward on the other side as you can reach, and then round it out on your exhale. Inhale forward, just stirring that rib cage, and exhale, bringing it around and back. Navel pulls in on that exhale. One more time around this way. Bringing it back center, sit tall. Other way, inhale, slide to the side and forward, push the rib cage forward. As you exhale, draw the belly button in. Inhale, pushing, finding that range in between your vertebrae. Exhale, letting that spine warm up with your breath. Trying to keep that 3-part breath with this rotation. One more time around. Bringing it back center. All right, from here, taking those knees over. Sitting it back into a child's pose, just to continue on here, letting those heels settle back. Little right to left sway of the hips. Crawling those fingertips forward. Long extension. Push through the base of the fingers, extending the hips back over the heels. Take a breath, 3-part breath all the way down your spine into the low back. Belly, sides, ribs. Exhale, ribs, sides, belly zipped up feeling. Tuck those toes under, extend into a downward dog. First one of our morning or our practice today. And you can pedal that out a little bit, walk the dog. Long extension from the arms. Feeling where you're at, just taking a moment, setting some intention for your practice. Being kind to yourself with your practice today, just loving on yourself a little bit. Being very present with each part of your pose, feeling that strong hand connection to the mat, that really big reach upward through the arms, through the spine. Take one more breath, belly, sides, ribs. And then exhaling, ribs, sides, belly, navel pulls in, eyes looking forward, walking up, find your forward fold. Relaxing into your forward fold, upper body relaxes, spread out those toes. Deep inhale all the way up, lifting tall. Exhale, matching your palms, finding your heart center, lifting tall through your spine. Legs are active, so you're spinning the thigh bones inward. You're creating some space in the sits bones for that breath. And if you like having a block for your sun salutations, you can have a block right here, ready to go, or 2 if you need to. Spread out through your toes. Lift up through those knees. Find mountain posture. Inhale, lift up, reaching tall. 3-part breath. Exhale, diving down. Ribs, sides, belly. Hanging here in your forward fold for just a moment. If you'd like to, you can hold those elbows and frame your face if you need to shake your head. Lots of good breath here. Getting yourself used to breathing through each part of your pose with intention. Breathing into the backs of the legs. Feeling the spiral in of the thigh bones. Releasing those arms. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, back down. Planting your palms. Right foot takes a giant step back. Finding a tall lunge on your mat. Finding whatever posture is going to allow you to keep your straight mountain spine. So hands can be wherever they need to be. You want to feel even pressure in all parts of that foot, from the toes down to the heel. Breathing strong here. Reach back through that back foot. Roll through that ankle a little bit if you need to. Find that 3-part breath here. Shoulders are strong away from the ears. And then planting your palms, step into a plank. Plank is on your toes or on your knees. Either one is good. Hands are directly under the shoulders. Spread the fingers out big. Contact that mat firmly from all fingers, all parts of the palm. Creases of the elbows spin forward. Feel these muscles starting to really activate in your plank pose. So your transverse abdominis, that wide belt, is cinching in tight. You're actively pulling those leg muscles in, squeezing those glutes a little bit, pushing through the palms. Take a breath at the top here. Exhale, chaturanga, elbows in tight to the ribs, all the way to your mat. Flatten through your toes. Inhale, peel the chest up off your mat, baby cobra. You can float your hands if you'd like, lengthening through the neck, taking a deep 3-part breath here. Bringing it back down to the mat, plant your palms. Inhale, 3-part breath, belly, sides, ribs. Lifting any amount into your cobra, evening out the pressure in your hands. As you exhale, pull the ribs in, sending that heart forward, sides and belly. One more breath. Inhale, the toes under. Exhale, shifting back, downward facing dog. And just allowing those hips to sway right and left. Legs stay pretty straight. Keeping those arms strong. Get a big side body stretch on one side and then shift the other way. Big side body stretch all the way from your armpit to your hip. Reach up through the sits bones. Melt the heart down between the shoulders. And from here, just bending those knees almost all the way to your mat. Now you don't, if you need to put the knees down, do it. But otherwise, we're hovering. We're keeping those core muscles really strong. And then sinking forward, chaturanga. Back into that tabletop hover. Belly button pulls in. And then forward in chaturanga arms. This is a strength challenge. We're really staying warm here. Breathing. Exhale. Inhale. 2 more. And last one. Right back into your downward facing dog. Long extension. Reach that tailbone up. Eyes look forward. Walk it up right and left. Find your forward fold. Relaxing the upper body. Take a deep inhale. Unfurl the spine. Lift the heart up. Exhale. Draw the midline of your body all the way to your mountain. See where you're at. Just taking a minute, checking how you're holding your weight from each foot, how your arms are sitting, where your spine is at. Take a deep inhale. Exhale to dive down. Into your forward fold, all the way into that pose. Inhaling as you lift up halfway. Exhaling as you bring that back. Left foot takes a giant step back this time, finding that lunge on the other side of the body. Taking the time you need to place your feet, to extend through the spine, to place your hands where they need to be. Finding that tall reach through the crown of the head. So we're constantly using that belly, side, rib inhale to renew the height in our spine. Be really present with each part of your pose. Feel where you're at on this side of the body. If you'd like to roll through that back ankle or anything else you need here, just finding where you need to be. And wherever you're at is exactly where you need to be. Loving yourself with your practice. Doing no harm with your practice, with your actions, your breath, your thoughts. And from here, planting your palms, stepping into a plank. Again, toes or knees, finding the strong shoulder away from the ears. Those hands are really big. Creases of the elbows, spin forward. Allowing all those muscles to kick in and engage once more. Standing firm on your feet if you're in a straight leg plank. One more breath. Exhale, coming down to your chaturanga. Inhaling up into your cobra. Sending the heart forward. Take your 3-part breath. On your next inhale, toes tuck under. Exhale into your downward dog, finding that downward dog on this side of the body. Feel those thigh bones spin inward, those heels repel away from each other just a little bit pigeon-toed if there's room for it. And continue that action of the thigh bones spinning in as you reach up through the sits bones, fan them open with your breath. Extend strong from the arms, let the heart melt down. So much intention in your pose, in your breath. And from here, bending the knees, going right into that floating table. Spine stays super straight. And then shooting yourself forward into a chaturanga. Big breath back into that table. Do 4. Belly button pulls in, pushing strong. 3. Lots of good breath. 2. Getting your arms nice and warm. Last one. Right into a downward dog. Reach tall through the hips. Let those heels melt down to the mat. Back to the legs lengthen. Take that left leg, inhale up. Exhale, stepping forward. Finding your forward fold. Relaxing through the upper body. Spreading out through your toes. Seeing a little bit of the mat in between each one. Inhale, lifting up. Scooping that breath up. Exhale. Match the palms. Draw that midline and find your mountain, Tadasana. So feeling much warmer, hopefully, using that breath to continue to build our heat. And we're going to continue. We'll have some moving balance happening here in just a moment. So if you do like to have something to touch on for your balance postures, you can take a moment. Make sure you have something nearby that you can just put a hand on if you need it. Top of your mat. Spread out through your toes. Roll the shoulders back. Take a deep inhale. Exhale and dive. Drop the chin. Inhale halfway up. Exhale, stepping the right foot back into a tall lunge. So our feet are hip distance apart. We're on railroad tracks, not a tightrope. And from here, finding that firm pressure in your feet. Inhale, airplane those arms. Reach through the top of the head. Get tall in the spine. Belly button pulls in. Inhaling up. So tall. Exhale your hands to heart center. If you want to, you can interlock your fingers and let the index fingers point upward. Inhaling to lift. Sinking into that lunge, finding the depth of your pose here. Strong reach through that back foot. Exhale, draw that midline. Zip up on your exhale. Inhale, belly, sides, ribs. Reach the thumbs back. Exhale, close the ribs to the hips. Feel really firm in both feet. One more time, inhale. Adding a big step forward. Exhale onto your front foot. You can either keep that toe touching or you can draw that knee forward. So moving with your breath. Inhale to lift. Thumbs reach back. Exhale, stepping forward. Gazing at a spot on the floor somewhere in front of you. Pushing strong through your standing heel. Squeezing your glutes. Let's do 3 more breaths. Exhale, close the ribs to the hips. Push strong through your standing leg. Long extension through that top body. From the hips all the way up through the crown of the head, shoulders pressed down the back. Last time, we're gonna hold our balance at the top. And you can keep your hands here. You can release them at any time. Using your kneecap, we're gonna draw a little sideways figure 8, little infinity sign. Just gazing at that spot on the floor, lifting yourself up tall. Inhale around one side of that figure 8, exhale through the other. Moving balance here. Stay tall and lifted, firmly rooting through that standing leg. Bring that center. Inhaling up tall. You can release a hand if you'd like, putting your foot to the inside of the leg for tree pose. So foot to leg to foot, you're pushing in. Your hands can be heart center, they can be in mountain, or if you like, you can take them up. I'm gonna turn and face you so you can see a little bit better. So equal pressure, foot to leg to foot. As long as you're not pushing on your knee joint with your foot, you're okay. Nice and wide, lift tall, send that breath down through your grounded foot. And all the way back up again. Imagine and visualize that breath circling around, coming up, and then all the way back around and through. Lift yourself tall. You're squeezing through the hips. Take one more breath. And then slowly release that out. And again, taking those little figure eights, those infinity signs. Inhale around. Exhale, nice and fluid. Just drawing that with your kneecap. Spine is tall and lifted. Hands are pressing to that midline, reminding us to keep our core engaged, bringing it back center. So we're at the top of our mat, stepping right back into that lunge. Lifting tall, release your hands, exhale all the way to your mat, into a plank. Toes or knees, take a breath. Move through your chaturanga. Inhaling up into your cobra or your upward dog. Exhale into your downward facing dog. Reaching through the sits bones. Take a breath. Inhale that right leg way up. Open to the side wall. Exhale, draw the knee toward your chin. Inhaling up, reach open to the side wall. Exhale, drawing that knee in again. 3-part breath. As long as you can extend. Arms are really strong here. Hands are active. Last one. At the top, reach and extend, open to the side. And if you'd like to, you can let that heel drop toward your hips, strong through your arms. You can stay right here. If you want to continue, shift your weight, right leg is up. Shift your weight to your left hand. Continue that foot around, spinning, lifting up, opening big, breathing into the front body, squeezing strong through the hips. Eyes look up and overhead, taking a deep breath. And then closing it up. 3-leg dog, reach. Exhale, stepping all the way forward and through, forward fold. Relaxing through that upper body. Turning those hands around if you need to. And just walking them back. In that forward fold. Taking one more breath. Recentering that posture, getting present with your breath, with your pose. Bringing that back around to the front, rolling your spine up, activating muscles along the way. Shoulders roll back, nice and tall. So really warm, we're gonna continue. Other side, top of your mat. Opening up through those shoulders, finding your feet, lifting the kneecaps upward, little spiral in of your thigh bones. Deep inhale up. Exhale, diving down tall through your spine into your forward fold. Drop the chin. Inhale halfway. Exhale, planting your palms, left foot steps back in that tall lunge, finding your feet again on railroad tracks as opposed to a tightrope. So firming up through that front foot, finding the depth of your pose, actively pushing back through that back foot. And as you feel ready, airplaning these arms, firming up the legs. Navel pulls in, so we're trying not to dump our weight onto our front leg. We're trying to extend our body weight forward and reach it backward. Big inhale up. Finding that lunge, you can adjust your feet shorter or longer at any time, and then bringing it to heart center. You can interlock those hands if you'd like to. Inhaling to lift. Belly, sides, ribs, reach the thumbs back, little back bend if you have room for it. Exhale, close it back, draw that midline, zip up on your exhale. And again, inhale, lift, legs are so active. Stay tall in the spine, exhale, get taller, and draw that in. Zipping up. Keeping those legs so strong. One more time like this, we'll take a giant step forward on that front foot, pushing through that front heel. You can either toe touch or draw your knee forward and lift. And again, stepping back, floating, inhale, lift, little back bend, Exhale, stepping forward and through, finding a spot for your eyes to rest on. Belly button pulls in, shoulders set down the back. Inhaling, so tall. Exhale, push through that front heel, squeeze through the hips. It can be a couple steps to get there if you need that. We're gonna do one more, and after this next exhale, we'll stay up at the top, finding that balance. So finding our balance, lifting tall, whoa. Finding a spot for your eyes to rest on. You're taking that kneecap, drawing that little infinity sign. Inhaling around, exhaling to the other side. Using your hands to remind you that pressure, to remind you to zip up tall. Softening the gaze, lift through your heart, broaden across the chest. Tracing through, moving with that balance. One more time. Bringing that center. Inhaling up. Exhaling. Finding your tree pose. Again, finding your foot anywhere in your leg as long as you're not right on that knee joint. Keeping your knee nice and wide. Hands can be in mountain, heart center, overhead, whatever you need. Finding equal pressure, pushing your foot to your leg, but also actively pushing your leg to your foot. So tall, lots of big breath here. Every exhale renews the midline of your body. Feeling that whole line up the midline, constantly engaged, constantly letting those muscles renew the height in your posture. Squeezing strong through the hips, try not to let them fold backward. Lifting up through the heart. So strong, so tall. One more breath here. Opening across the shoulders, and then releasing that back forward through that knee, drawing a couple more of those infinity signs with your kneecap. Inhaling, sweep around in one direction, exhale to the other side. So warm, using that breath to maintain our body temperature as we balance, bringing it back center, controlling that back into our lunge, finding a really tall crescent. Inhale up, exhale, release that down into a plank. Toes or knees, take a breath, move through that chaturanga, scooping through. Inhale to lift. Exhale to your downward facing dog. Taking a breath here, finding those hands. Left leg inhales way up, opens to the side. Exhale, knee pulls in toward your chin. And again, reach and extend as long as you can. Open the hips to the side. Exhale, navel draws in, shoulders press away from the ears. So you have lots of strong engagement as you slide forward, pulling through the heels of the hands, belly button pulls in. 2 more times. And on this last one, holding up, reaching, opening as tall as you can. And if you'd like, you can bend that knee, let the heel fall toward the hips. You can stay right here, big side body stretch. Or you can take, if your left leg is up, that right hand stays grounded. You can continue spinning around, lift and extend, push through the hips, push through the heels, lift tall, breathe and open the front body. Pushing strong through that grounded heel. Breathing all the way down into the belly. Present in your pose, you're right where you need to be. And then returning to your 3-leg dog. Open, exhale, stepping through. Find your forward fold. Release the upper body here. Shoulders roll back. Spread out through the toes. A little sway if you'd like. Bringing that center, beginning at the navel. Draw the belly button in. Use your core muscles, those bandha muscles, to push each vertebrae into place. Stacking your spine up tall. Opening through the shoulders. Reaching through the top of the head. All right, if you are sweating, if you're warm, so am I. So we're gonna continue to keep up that body heat. and that body temperature. Gonna go into some more really awesome hamstring stretches and some big side body openers. So with this, I have one yoga block at home. Traditionally, I teach classes outside of my home, so I don't have as many yoga pieces of equipment here, but I do have this one little bitty block. So I'm gonna have this here if I need it. If I had two, I would use two. So get what you need. We're going into some triangle and some pyramid, and you may need to bring that floor up if that's more comfortable. Top of the mat. Spreading out those toes, just taking a moment, let yourself take up that space. Right where you need to be with your practice, taking up that space, letting the shoulders reach to the sides, letting the feet firmly plant, and then just lifting up from the soles of your feet all the way up. Float the arms up on your inhale. Exhale, diving down all the way to your plank, step or hop. Taking a breath here in your plank, deep breath. Chaturanga, scooping through, inhaling up into your cobra or up dog. Exhale into your downward dog, navel pulls in. Inhaling your right leg way up. Exhale, pulling that through, planting your foot, toes are forward. Arch of the back foot lines up with that front heel. Inhaling up, warrior one. Turning that left side body to square up to the front of the mat. Sending the heart forward, lifting it up. So you can always change your foot placement. A lot of times warrior one, our feet have to be shorter so that we can find that squaring up to the front of the mat. So figuring out where you need to be, adding some movement with this. So as you extend through the front leg, press down, squeeze the shoulder blades down the back, lift through the heart. Exhale, inhale, lifting up, warrior one. Exhale, pull through the shoulder blades, pull the kneecap upward, stick that big toe to the mat. Inhale, eyes can follow those thumbs for a challenge. Exhale, belly button pulls in. Use your breath. Scooping that air up like you can hold it. One more time. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, straighten through that bottom leg. Hands come to the hips. Again, turning that left hip forward. Eyes are looking forward. Inhale, dive the heart over the knee. Pull that kneecap upward so our legs are very active. And you want to try and have a flat back as you go into your pyramid. So from here, if you have blocks, you can have your hands on blocks. That can be very helpful. We're constantly spinning that hip forward and square. If you need to soften the front knee, you can, but over time you want to get that leg as straight as you comfortably can. So lots of good breath here. If you have flexibility to take it lower, and that flexibility may just come with holding the pose and letting your breath work. Constantly activating your legs. Your back leg is still strong. You're reaching forward on your inhale, and you're exhaling and melting the heart toward your leg, toward your mat. Keeping your back as straight as you can. If you have room to turn your hands around in your pyramid, you can turn them around on your fingertips or flat. 2 more breaths here. And then walking this forward, you can have your hand on a block by your foot if you want, or you can be on the mat, or you can be anywhere on your leg. Going into triangle. So legs stay very straight, very active. You're pushing through the toes and heels of your feet. You're pulling the kneecaps and drawing all these muscles up to the middle of the body. Open through the heart. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Get tall through the crown of your head, lengthening from the hip through the crown. Option to extend that arm overhead. And as you're breathing here, you're tucking the tailbone open. Breathe into the left side body. Really, really strong. Adding a little movement. So we're going to inhale, bringing that heart square to the mat. Exhale, open it back up. Move at your own pace. Turning, keep those legs very active. Exhale, you can keep your gaze at your big toe if that helps. Turn the hips and shoulders forward, pyramid. Exhale, tuck the tail back into your triangle. One more time. Reach through the crown of the head, active through those legs. All right, firming up here. You can either stay right here or you can really pull those abs in tight and extend long. Breathe, tuck your tail, open your heart. Exhale, lift. And inhale all the way back down to your mat, melting forward. Stepping back into your plank. Toes or knees, take a breath. Chaturanga down and through. Inhale to lift. Exhale to your downward facing dog. And then as you're ready, eyes looking forward, step or hop. Finding your forward fold. Spreading out those toes. Inhale. Unfurl your spine, lifting up tall. Exhale, finding your mountain. Taking up that space with yourself, with your physical self and with your breath and with your thoughts. Other side of the body. We're doing so well, keeping our body really warm. Spreading out through your toes. Activate that midline. Start from a very strong place. Inhale, lift. Exhale, dive down to your plank any way you want to get there. Taking a breath. Exhale, move through your chaturanga. Inhale, up into your cobra or your upward dog. Exhale to your downward dog. Inhale your left leg way up. Exhale, stepping through, planting your foot. Toes forward. Back foot plant so that the arch of the back foot lines up with the heel of the front. Inhaling up, find your warrior one. So again, turning here in warrior one, finding your feet, knowing that you can change your foot distance at any time. Right side body, your left leg is forward, so right side body is spinning forward, lifting tall. Lots of good breath here. Hands together or apart. Send the breath down into that right hip. Lift up through the rib cage. Lots of good Ujjayi breath. Adding movement here. So you can release those hands. Straighten through that leg. You're pulling the kneecap up. Really squeezing through that quad. Press down, squeeze the shoulder blades down the back. Inhale, lift, scoop up. Your eyes can stay forward as you breathe, or you can follow your thumbs. Back leg is a strong anchor, and you stay very active through that front foot, big toe, constantly spinning that right side body forward, lift. Belly button pulls in, and again, inhale up. Exhale, press through, shoulders sink down the back. Renew the midline of that body. Last time, finding that straight stance, hands to the hips, lift yourself up tall. We're hinging at the hip, trying to keep the legs straight and the back straight. Dive the heart over your big toe, over your knee. We're spinning that right hip forward. So really feeling that maybe through the outer thigh there, abductors, hamstrings. Feet are active on the mat. Remember, you can soften that knee if you need to, but over time you want to keep that leg as straight as you comfortably can. So again, you can be on a block, in your pyramid, lots of breath. And just keep in mind, your pose is not static. You are breathing through this. And you're constantly spinning the right side body forward. You're constantly feeling your feet press to the mat. Constantly drawing these muscles up toward the middle of the body. Constantly reaching through the crown of the head, setting the shoulders down the back. Fighting for that height in your spine. And I say fighting for, maybe pursuing. This is a practice, not a perfect. It shouldn't feel like a fight against yourself, but striving for maybe. Keeping a clear goal of what you would like to do with your practice in this moment. So you can stay right here, or if you'd like to, as we go into our triangle, you can bring your hand to a block at any height and spin that right hand open. Tail tucks under. And you can find your triangle anywhere you need to be. Legs are straight. You're pulling them up toward the midline of the body, stacking the shoulders right on top of each other, right over left. Option to extend overhead. So we're rolling the ribs open to the ceiling, tucking the tail under, activating those legs. Feet press down, leg muscles pull up toward the belly button, reach through the top of the head. So strong. And then moving with this, inhaling, turning the heart toward your mat, toward your knee. Exhale. So moving between pyramid and triangle. Inhale, stay tall in your spine. Exhale, tail tucks under. So squaring to the mat, and then squaring to the side wall, stacking right over left. Inhaling again. Exhale, turn one more time. And exhale, and if you have that extra core challenging you right there, reach long, breathe. Inhale, lift. So tall, exhale to your mat. Sinking into that front knee, into your plank. Breathe at the top of that plank and exhale through a chaturanga. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, downward facing dog, belly pulls in. Just a moment here, pedaling those heels. Working so hard. Just taking a moment. This is a recovery posture. Eyes looking forward, centering the feet. Deep breath, you can step or hop into your forward fold. Relaxing through that upper body. Spreading out through the toes. Inhale, lifting all the way up. Strong through your arms, strong through your legs. Exhaling to your heart center. Great job. Oh my goodness. We've been working really, really hard, and we are going to continue here. We have another balance posture coming up that's going to build on what we were just working on. So again, if you like to touch on a chair or a wall or something, you can have that ready to go. If you also like to have a block ready, going to be going into some standing side postures, and if you want to be able to try and touch down to either the mat or a block, you can bring something in front of you to accommodate that. So having that ready to go. Spread out through your toes. Roll back through the shoulders. Inhale, lifting up tall, strengthen the arms and legs. Exhale, dive down into your plank, step or hop, whatever way you want to get there. Toes or knees. Take a breath. Move through that chaturanga. Inhaling up into your cobra or your upward dog. Exhaling, being present with that breath. Inhale your right leg way up. Exhale, big step forward and through. Walking your hands. Now you can have a block here too. Walking your hands around. You can be up high and have your hands on your hips. Your weight is back in the heel of your foot. We're not rolling onto the toes. So keeping the knee pretty much in alignment with your ankle for now. Sitting back. So you can use a block or you can extend forward. As you sit back, breathe. Tall spine. And if those other toes want to pop up, great. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, sinking into the other side. You can go a little or you can go a lot. Again, sitting your weight back into the heel. Keeping your spine nice and straight, breathe into your posture. You can have your hands on a block if that helps, whatever you need. Trying to get your weight-bearing foot flat if you can. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, sinking into that deep side lunge. Finding that reach. Sitting back through the heels. Inhale, lift up. Staying tall. Exhale, open those feet into a goddess squat. So we're opening the knees, pressing them back. Feet are in a natural turnout. We're zipped up. Set the shoulders down the back. Find that imaginary wall behind you. And the lower you sit in those legs, the harder your muscles are working. So figure out where the edge of your pose is today. Inhale, open the heart. Exhale, sweeping forward and through. Inhale, open. So stay low in the legs. We're tracing that infinity sign with our hands on either side of our body. Spine stays really tall as we hinge from the hip. Let's do 3 more breaths. Roll through those shoulders. And 2, moving with intention in those arms. Lots of resistance in the arms. Last one. Extend up, inhale. Exhale, turning into a triangle stance. Take a moment to catch your breath if you need to. I know we are working hard. And we're gonna take our giant step forward onto our front foot. And if you need that block, put that block there ahead of time. Big step forward. All at once or a little at a time. And as you feel ready, reach. So these muscles from our shoulders to our wide band here, to the squeezing of your hips, are helping us with our balance. We're not just kind of wet noodling here. We're reaching and extending from the middle of the body all the way out. Opening so you feel like you're really flat. Stacking left over right if you need to soften your standing leg. So you can stay up high with this or you can hinge any amount. So right now we're in kite. If you'd like to take your right hand, your bottom hand, and ground it for standing half moon, you can. Open to the side, whoa. Open to the side wall. So wobbling is okay. Trying to stay really straight and tall. Active, active, active through your fingers and toes. And if you really want a big challenge, you can bend that knee and reach back. And if there's a hand and a foot that want to join and bind, go for it. And if not, you are still a good person. And it is okay, and you're just where you need to be. Breathe. Lifting back up if you can. Eyes are fixed on a spot for balance. Squeeze the core muscles. Stepping right back into that triangle. Hinge into your triangle. Open it up. Close that to your mat. Planting your left hand, your bottom hand, opening the right, spin your triangle. Revolving that triangle, trying to stack the right over the left shoulder as much as you can, keeping the front toes forward, sliding the back heel back, reach through the crown of the head, one more breath. Closing that up, bringing your hands to the mat, step into your plank, toes or knees. Breathe through your chaturanga. Inhale up, exhale back. And then bringing it back forward, step or hop. Relax through that forward fold. All the way back up. Inhale, lifting tall. Exhale, heart center. Check in with yourself. See where you're at. We're going to go to the other side of the body. And before we even begin on that other side of the body, just give yourself a moment to acknowledge that it might be the same as the first side, it might be different. You might have a side of your body that is very good at balancing and one that's not as good. So everyone's different, every day is different. We're gonna approach this with a little bit of kindness to ourselves here. Hike up your yoga pants, ready to go. Spread out through your toes. Roll the shoulders back and open. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, diving down into your plank any way you want to get there. Taking a breath, moving through your chaturanga. Inhaling up, cobra or upward dog. Exhale to your downward facing dog. Left leg inhales way up. Exhale, stepping forward and through. Planting through that back foot. Inhale, lift. And exhale, finding those legs. And I'm trying to remember. Now, normally in class, I would ask people what we did. Trying to remember how we got here. I think we were sinking into our lunge. Maybe we started low. Did we? Maybe. We're going to walk it around. Yep, I think that was it. So walking around here, you can have that block. Thanks, guys. Stick with me. You can have your block, and you're going to sink into that leg. You can start up high and have your hands on your hips and your weight in your heel. And as you sink lower, trying to keep this front leg flat, keeping your spine tall, just finding that long stretch, breathing into it. Flat back. Your arms are really doing whatever you need for a counterbalance. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, sinking into the other side. So again, you can sit there, sitting your weight into your heels, keeping it high. Or as you sit lower, trying to flatten through that weight-bearing foot. Maybe those other toes are going to pop up. Reach long through your spine. Keep those core muscles engaged. Find your Ujjayi breath here. Let's use some breath. Inhale, lift. Exhale, sinking into that side. Extension through that leg. Inhale, lift. Exhale, sinking in. One more time. Inhale, lift. Exhale, staying tall, finding that goddess squat. So natural turnout, we press those knees wide, sink the shoulders down and back, open the shoulders. Nice and low. Find the edge of your pose. Find the depth of that goddess squat. You can stay right here, or again, if you want to, inhale, scoot forward, hinge at the hip. Exhale, open, finding the shoulder range. Keep your spine tall, keep your legs low. 3 more. Open the heart at the top. 2. Moving with intention in those arms. Last 1. Lifting up, turning the front toes forward, turning the other heel back, finding that triangle stance, taking a giant step forward so you can soften that knee if you want to move that block forward before you begin, and seeing where you're at on this side. So again, you can step all at once or a little at a time. We're opening to the side wall. You're squeezing those glutes, the core muscles, the shoulders are back, radiating open through all the limbs, pulling strong through that core for your strength. So you can stay tall in your kite, or you can tip any amount. Breathe, 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 breathe. Feel the shoulders open, really strong, lots of muscles working here. And you can stay in kite, or if you want to, you can bring it down to a block, or a chair, or the ground for standing half moon. Your bottom leg can bend if it needs to. Stacking right over left shoulder. Turning to that side wall, reaching through your fingers, reaching through your toes. So strong. So, so strong. Finding a spot for your gaze. Opening through, lengthening the spine, and then lifting up back into your triangle. Hinging into your triangle briefly, closing that top hand. And you can close it to a block if you want, or to the mat, open into a revolved triangle. So turning and looking, doing your best to stack your top shoulder, your left over your right. Legs are still active. If you need to bend that front knee, you can, but your goal is to straighten it over time. Breathe and lengthen the spine on your inhale. Lengthen the ears away from the shoulders. Stay active through both legs. Really big stretch through here. Take one more breath. And then closing that up, step back into your plank. Taking a breath. Moving through your chaturanga. Inhaling up into your cobra or your upward dog. Exhale to your downward facing dog. Taking a moment here. Pedal out those heels. And just walking it forward. Relax the upper body. Roll yourself up. Use those core muscles as you breathe to build up your spine. Open through the shoulders. Oh, guys, we've done a great job today. It is almost time for us to bring it down. You can see I'm sweating. Yeah, it's been warm. If you've been sweating, that means you've been doing a good job with your breath and with your movement to build that body temperature and then sustain it. As we come away from that movement and breath, and as our body becomes more still, if you feel like the room temperature is going to cause you to get very cold, you can grab a sweatshirt or socks or something to keep your body temperature in a good spot. So from here, having a seat, such a good job today. Let's make sure we have room behind us on our mat and just roll it down. You can take a minute to just lengthen through the back of the neck, roll it out through your spine, letting those elbows be your stoppers. Hands to the kneecaps, stir the thigh bones. circling around that tailbone, massaging out the low back. And if you have other things that you need to do to resolve your muscles and your joints and your limbs, you need to do whatever is going to work for you. Bring it center, circling through those hips. You can release that if you want a bigger range of motion. Other way. One more time. And then just planting that, crossing your right ankle over your left, reaching through, and if you need to curl the shoulders, you can. Reaching through to your left leg. Flex through that right foot to protect the knee. And as you push that knee wide, draw your left leg in. It can be bent or straight, whatever feels better. You can move with this, or you can stay static. And then keeping that crossed over, arms extend long. And just rolling over to one side, you look to the opposite direction. And if your foot plants on the floor, good. And if it doesn't, you're just where you need to be. If this doesn't feel good, you can also just cross the legs over. So whatever is going to feel like a good stretch here. Lots of good breath. Bringing that back center, uncrossing that leg. Bringing that other leg in. And then crossing the ankle over, left ankle over right knee. Reaching long through to hold the back of the right leg. Flexing through that left foot, just pressing the knee wide as you draw that right leg in. And your leg can be bent or straight, it does not matter. It's just whatever feels good. Finding some time with that breath. If you need to roll with it, you can. You can add any kind of movement you need to. And then you can either continue with that right there, or you can take those arms out to either side and just roll that foot over. And if your foot plants on the floor, great. If it doesn't, don't worry about it. Shoulders contacting the mat. You can turn and look to the left as you roll those legs to the right. Breathing into that twist of your body. Just being present with your pose, being present with each breath. Feeling where you're at now that we're at the end of our practice together. Slowly bringing that back, uncross through the legs. Little windshield wiper out. Bringing it back center. Extending that out long. Anything else you need to do, just take the time you need to do to resolve your body. And getting yourself comfortable for Shavasana, lengthening through the back of the neck, letting the arms rest heavy at your sides, legs heavy beneath you, letting those hips and shoulders settle. Begin to relax the muscles in your face, softening across your forehead, your scalp, allowing the brow to grow heavy. Allowing the eyes to relax in their sockets, feeling the eyelids heavy over them. Feeling the muscles in the face soften and relax, allowing the tongue to float inside of your mouth, allowing the jaw to go slack. And as the head and neck relax with each breath, allow the shoulders to melt into the mat a little bit more with every exhale. Letting your body breathe in a natural way, not forcing any inhale or any exhale. Feel the arms grow heavy at your sides as you breathe. Softening the muscles away from the bones, from the shoulders down to the elbows, from the elbows down to the wrists. Softening through the palms of the hands, allowing any remaining tension to exit through your fingertips. And allow the arms to remain heavy at your sides, drawing your focus back to your breath as it moves through your body, feeling the rise and fall of each breath in the ribs and the belly. And with every exhale, allowing the back to melt into the mat a little bit deeper. Softening all the way down the spine from the upper back to the middle back, down to the lower back, across the backs of the hips. Feeling the legs grow heavy beneath you just as the arms are heavy at your sides. Allowing them to rotate to a fully relaxed position in their hip sockets. Big toes falling away from each other. Softening the muscles away from the bones, from the hips down to the knees, knees down to the ankles. Releasing any remaining tension from the arches of your feet. And becoming aware of the space in between each one of your toes. And as your body continues to breathe, begin to deepen that breath. Allow your breath to wash over you from head to toe, reaching all parts of your body. Bringing fresh air to all your muscles, rejuvenating them. Breathing in the fresh air, breathing out the old stale air. And as your limbs are energized by that breath and your hands and your feet wake up, fingers and toes become more active. Still keeping everything heavy and loose. Draw the knees up. Extend your right arm overhead. Gently roll yourself onto your right side. And just take a moment here, allowing the body to acclimate, allowing the breath to regulate. And still keeping everything heavy and relaxed. As you feel ready, gently press yourself up to sit comfortably. Feel your vertebrae lift and float out of your tailbone. Arms are still heavy and loose. Lots of space between the ears and shoulders. And just take a moment, acknowledge your accomplishments with your practice in the last hour and the challenges that you rose to meet. Take a moment of gratitude for the time you took for your practice today and for the kindness you showed yourself with your practice and within your practice. Take a very full breath. And just let it go. And take one more very full breath. Bringing your hands together, matching your palms to your forehead for good thoughts, to your lips for good words, and to your heart for good deeds. Taking one more final breath. And just let it go. Namaste. Thanks for joining me today. I'm so glad you could do yoga with me. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you next time.